Hello everybody, I did a video similar to this about like a couple months ago where I replayed through one of my old games, or actually the first game that I ever made, and it did okay, but I wanted to go back and play another game that I made. This game is called Clown Factory Remastered. It's a remaster, of course, because it says in the title that it's a remaster, but it is basically my second game that I made. I made this game in 2022 and I remastered it earlier this year. And this is basically just the definitive version to play. As you can see, it plays through basically exactly the same as the original, although there's of course improved visuals with the whole sprite thing. I'll be talking about like the story, not the story of the game, but like the backstory of me creating this game. It went through a pretty rocky release. There were multiple times when the game would just corrupt itself and I would lose entire like weeks worth of development. I actually tried remaking this game, making a full-on remake just recently, a few months ago, and that also corrupted. It's like this game is cursed or something. I genuinely don't know what's wrong with it. I've been I just keep trying to remake this game, and every time it just doesn't seem to want to be remade. But this remaster was the newest thing that I've published based on this game. And I really do think this game had a lot of potential, just if my stuff just wouldn't keep corrupting. Because I've made all sorts of things that I've spent way more time on. Yeah, there is some strange things that I decided to do with this game. I made it so I think this is the only time when you can step on glass and it actually like damages you. So this... Okay. Here is the secret boss that I forgot that I made. This thing I drew in like 5 minutes, I think. I didn't really know what I was doing, but basically I think this was supposed to be a New Game Plus thing, but since I removed New Game Plus in the remaster, I just made it a thing that you can find on your own. That's the one thing I made where if you fight it, if you fight it, then you don't what's it called? You don't actually die if you lose. I don't really know why I programmed that, but I did. Oh yeah, and I had these things that show up when you get like choices. Yeah, so the fights in this game I barely changed in the remake, or not the remake, the remaster. I changed them a lot in the remake, which I'm... But yeah, they were very bare bones. This whole game kind of was a little bare bones. Like, at least in terms of just like the basic concept. Like, there is a ton of stuff in this game. There's literally like at least like 200 or 300 items that you can get in this game. And I also made it so that you could search these whole like shelves. This was a cool thing that I added. I actually am very proud of myself for doing this, even though it's like This is like a basic thing that you can code in an RPG Maker. But yeah, there were tons of like random items that you can find. I try to like not add so many items into my games, which is why if you actually play Colorphobia, which is the remake, there's like I intentionally made it so that there's not that much items that you can get, because when you do this, what I did with this game, there's far too many items, and there's half the time they're things that you don't really need, or are things that already exist in other forms. So it's like, I know way too much. Yeah, let's just continue. Blah blah blah, they're saying words, and now it's a fight against the low... Jesus Christ, I didn't realize how fucking low the resolution was for these enemies. Yeah, this is where you get to have her follow you. It's very immersive. It's very immersive. The game is very immersive. The game is very immersive. See, this is how immersive it is, because you can run away, like you're really running away from enemies. And there's also like nothing to do here, so I don't know why I even programmed this part in. Yeah, I tried to fix this in later games that I've made, but the encounter rate in this game specifically is horrible. It's actually horrendous for the amount of walking you have to do. That's why, like, I'll be honest, I think this game fucking sucks. Which is why I tried to remake it so many times. Like, this game is just not good. It's like not a good, it's not a good game. It would have been good in concept if it didn't have such a horrible, like, god-awful encounter rate, because it has probably the worst encounter rate in any game. This is probably the worst encounter rate in any game ever created, actually. Like, definitely not in any game, but like, Persona 2 was better than this. And I constantly talk about like how much the encounter rate sucks in that game. Like, I did not know how to actually transition from place to place ever. So I would just always make it like teleport, and the characters would be like, how did I get to this place? How did I manage to appear in this random area? And it's never elaborated on, because God forbid I elaborate on that. This is actually so funny. I love how it's just the exact same character. I didn't even draw any like new sprites for even for the remaster. I think that's great, actually. Okay, now we're in a castle. See, look, welcome to the castle. It's just in a castle now, okay. This was a cool thing that you could do. When I programmed this in, I was like, this is so awesome. I'm so glad that I programmed this in, and then I just like... I don't know. Whoa, it's... I really don't know what else to really say. I don't want to like voice over all these lines, because there's way too many lines. I can't remember if I did that in the last game. Oh, look at that. I didn't put the follow player on. That's funny. That's a funny thing. This game is very well made. Now we're in a cave. And the player followers are still on. Let's go. Whoa, we're in the forest with the sound effect from the last area because I didn't make it so that it stopped playing. You can't hear the actual sound effect that's playing in the background because I have audio off because it would be really annoying. I have audio off from OBS, but I can hear it, so... Hello new character, and hello actual somewhat regular transition. This area is freaking massive. Like, this area is actually so incredibly huge, and it has this god-awful encounter rate, so you have to just keep walking. You just have to keep walking through this for like a long time. You have to keep walking through this for a long time. And you keep having to fight enemies literally 5 steps away. I'm gonna drive myself insane from playing my own game. Oh, there's a blue one now. Yeah, I originally was gonna make this game so that or this video so that I can say, hey guys, look at this. The game is now on Newgrounds and you will get achievements. But like, after actually playing through this, I realized, wow, this is horrible. So it won't be on there. Oh, and these set you on fire. Yeah, luckily the game is almost done now, and there's not much else left after this. I would go into those other places, but honestly, I don't really want to. And then there was this place. I think I could have transitioned that area into this area pretty well if I actually tried. But obviously that wasn't the case. And once again, the enemies that don't grow. They don't grow in strength alongside you. And then this happens on this area specifically. This is something that was reported to me on the actual itch.io page. So let me go find that. Right, so here I am on my own itch.io page, and so this person says, hello, I've played your game a little and cannot progress any further because of the error that says something about height was not found. Skip to 5650. And I replied 81 days ago, this seems like an issue with the random encounters in that area in particular. I'll look further into this. This game should still be possible to finish. It just seems that random encounter could be game breaking. I will be sure to fix it in the next update. So this is pretty much an RNG thing where the game just breaks you. Okay, so 5650 is where it is. Actually, let me... Oh, the desktop audio is on. That's right, I turned it back on for this. Yeah. Let me show you what this person is talking about here. This happened... Yeah, so this is something that I put into the game by accident because I took certain enemies out of the game. I took certain enemies out of the game, so they basically just don't work and will completely brick your game if you accidentally manage to encounter them. And with the encounter rate in this game, it's basically just a whole let's just hope that I don't end up dying to that enemy because it breaks the game. This was 81 days ago and I didn't actually update the game at all. I ported it to Linux earlier today and I just didn't fix it. This is like a whole thing on my part. Personally, I just don't think I would play this game. Like, I literally made this game, and I'm telling you, like, don't play this game. This is what I wanted to do with the remake, which is actually good. I don't think it's worth finishing the actual game itself for this video, but I will play through this demo instead. So if you like the other game, try playing through it yourself and see how long it takes before you decide to uninstall the game. Alright, here we are in my Newgrounds because I'm not re-downloading the game. You can play my game for free on Newgrounds. Here's my Newgrounds profile right here. And yeah, the game is able to just be played right inside your browser. And you can't. So this is Colorophobia. This is a remake that I was gonna make, or I was actually in the process of making, but it also got corrupted because something is wrong with this game. There's like a curse that just doesn't let me actually fix my, or actually like make my game. But yeah, so I actually was like really excited to finish this game because of how just significantly better it is in like every way. Other than that issue that just appeared on the screen right there. But yeah, it was, you can kind of see like how much inspiration from Resident Evil I got from this, because I had just recently finished the first, or I didn't finish the first, I got like really close to finishing the first game. And things are very similar. I saw the typewriter system that was in the first Resident Evil and I was like, I should do something similar to this. And so I made it so you can only save from these computers that have printers next to them, and you need these empty disks to actually save. I thought it was a cool concept. It's obviously it's obviously pretty much ripped from Resident Evil, but I really liked it as an idea. And every time you found an item, it would show like this rough drawing I did on like a 4K. I literally looked up 4K paper texture, and I just like scribbled something that looked similar to what I was going for. Even down to like how I structure the text and how I made the dialogue boxes. It is very obvious what I inspired this off of, but I think that's completely fine. It works on its own and it doesn't try to be anything else other than what it was meant to be from the original vision of the game, which I wanted it to be a survival horror game for a long time, but I didn't know how to make that in RPG Maker, and I think this is a good showing of what it would have been like if I had actually finished it. The one thing I don't really like is how it's so slow to walk around in the main area. But yeah, I actually drew the face sprites in this game, unlike the one from before, which I just used like default RPG Maker stuff. I didn't draw the overworld sprites, but just like the face sprites. I think they look nice on their own. And I'll probably continue just drawing things like that for the game because it's easy to do. Let's see. Yeah, there's a puzzle here, and I did use ChatGPT to help me make it and conceptualize it. I didn't like the most work. So you gotta do like You gotta read like a history book on D-Day. And then press the buttons in the specific order of which battles on during World War One, I think it was World War Two. I don't remember. Whichever ones were like failures and which ones were successful, and then the green ones were successful, and then the red ones were not. Yeah, it's sort of basic, but yeah. And then if you give this thing the wrong one, then it will kill you, and if you give it the right one, it explodes and does that little thing. And then there's this secret one that you can do. This one, all you have to do is just see which one of these machines doesn't work, which is a very long process, which doesn't really get you much in the end. And then this is the fight against Double Trouble from the original, although you're alone this time, because I decided to make it MJ is still unconscious. Not interested. Yeah, this time she's very small. She's a very small fellow. That would be faster if it were normal, or if I actually had the thing equipped. But yeah, this is basically where it ends. I think it's a good like concept game, like and this would also connect to the comic that I'm writing, because it's mentioned like once in the original that the detective is here. Speaking of which, you can read my manga right here. There, same character. It's like, oh yeah, it's literally on this page. She mentions it that she was there. Small reference in the original Clown Factory that mentions that she was there, and that's all. It would have been more expansive. It would have connected more to this. But yeah, if you do want to play Cloverphobia, it's on my Newgrounds. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. Sorry if this video was a little less exciting than normal. But I did want to make another game like the one that I did a few months ago. And this is probably the last one of these videos that I'll do for a while. I have another old game that I do kind of want to play through for a video, but it'd probably be very short. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Play my games if you want to. Don't waste your time if you don't really want to. And yeah, check out all my other stuff on Newgrounds. I do post music I do post music here sometimes. But if you want to hear my music, just go to my Spotify. It's in the description. And yeah, I post art here sometimes. I post, of course, my web manga, which I am posting another chapter today, or like a half chapter today, and then I need to work on the third chapter. I just keep pushing it off. But yeah, I'm not gonna just keep yapping along. Subscribe, hopefully.